G'day viewers, Sep here. What we're going to do today is we're going to replace our microwave in our Caravan. So the first thing we need to look at is how it's installed and removing it. And I've already removed it, but I'm going to show you how I took it out and how I'm going to put it back, because we are going to do a few mods to make it more secure. So first of all, I've got a replacement microwave which is exactly the same as the one that I had in there. Now I won't go into detail what happened to the old one, but I don't want to make the video too long. So we're going to replace it with exactly the same one. And the first thing you need to have is an installation kit, which is what this is. And of course I already had this because it's come off the old one. So it looks like so. It's metal with the plastic surround at the front, which matches your microwave, which I'll show you that in a sec. And of course you've got mounting screws, mounting screw holes. Now I've drilled a couple extra ones in this, and I'll tell you why when we get in the Caravan I'll show you. But generally there's 4 screws, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. I've drilled some extra ones in, and they go into the timber framework. So I'll show you how this mounts on the microwave, so you got a bit of an idea, and then we'll go on the Caravan and I'll show you how this fits in and the modifications we're going to do. So the way this fits is it goes over the front like so. Now this is the old microwave, so if we scratch it up a bit it won't matter. So I'll just show you on this one. So it sits over the front like that. The frame goes over. Now what you'll see also is your microwave, well, this particular one comes with these holes already pre-drilled, so you don't drill any of this microwave yourself. Give you another look. They're pre-drilled, so you only have to put the screws in. And of course this one already had the screws in it, so you basically put it on, you line up the hole with the one that where you removed it, which will be like so. It'll go in there. It's just I haven't got this blocked up. So then you use, well, what they've used here is what they call stitching screws. So I'll give you a look at that. And then you just put one in the top, which will go in there like so, and the other one will go in the bottom here where they've come out. And of course these two will line up. That's just, like I said, I haven't got this on this one elevated to get it in position. So once you've got it on your microwave, it sort of looks like that, and then it's ready to install in the cavity. So we'll go over, we'll leave the microwave here, we'll go over and I'll show you how this installs in the cavity. So I'll give you a look at the cavity first. And there it is there. It's got a couple of plates which are screwed into the cabinet, and that's what the legs of the microwave will sit on. There's 4 legs. They'll sit straight down on there, and the frame will go into the cavity here, which I'll show you in a sec. Now with this in particular, you may not be able to see this real well, but the original screws that were in this were split out the side of this timber. So there's one there, and there's one here that's split out, and of course down the bottom here as well, the screws just didn't grab, they split out the side. I think this one was the only one that here was the only one that actually was okay. So what was happening was the screws were coming out, and the screws that were being used were these type of ones, which they're only short. I'm going to show you. They're only short ones, they're very thin, and I don't even think they were for timber, but I'm not sure on that one. But they kept popping out. The microwave never came out, which is good, but we're going to fix that. So what I've done is I've re-drilled the screw holes. We've got 1, 2, 3, and of course up the top here, another one here, here, and here, which are right in the middle of the timber frame. I've already lined them up with the actual frame itself, and I've had the screws in these holes as well. So I'll show you how the frame fits in. So you make the assumption that this is now connected to your microwave with your stitching screws. So the microwave's now in position. You bring it up and you slide it in. Now when you slide it in, that's going to fit in. That fits in like so. And of course all you do then is you'll be able to get at these screws with the door, the microwave in there. You can open the door up of the microwave and then you can access the screw holes and you screw your screws in. Now there's another couple of little things with this, is that frame has a tendency to move up and down. Now it depends on where the microwave sits. When you actually screw the screws in, if there's a gap in behind the timber frame and this metal part, it has a tendency to pull the metal part up or down and distort it. And what was happening was this black surround was coming off, and I've had to re-glue it back on. So what we're going to look at is, depending on where this sits once we put the microwave in, I'm going to put a packer in, either at the top or the bottom, just like I said, just depends where this sits, and to take up that flex of the plate so it'll be nice and solid. The other thing we're going to do is, let's pull this down so it doesn't fall down. The other thing we're going to do is to stop the microwave, if there's any possibility of that bouncing up and down, which there could have been. It could have been bouncing a little bit, maybe. I'm going to put a block of wood just in across the top here. And that'll fit flush with the top of this frame. And that is roughly where the microwave will sit. And that should stop anything from, or should stop the microwave from bouncing up and down. That's sort of the plan. So, with that, we'll get the next part of the process done. Okay, so this is where we're at. I've just put in a block up the top here. I didn't bore you with all the cutting it and gluing it and all that, but that's pretty much got liquid nails in there to hold those two pieces together. And there's liquid nails in there just holding it to the roof. I didn't want to put any screws in here, in this roof, just in case I hit something I shouldn't have, like a wire. So that's ready to go there. So the idea is the microwave will now slide in, and then that'll stop anything from bouncing. It's a nice neat fit, and hopefully if there's any bounce for any reason, this should hold it from bouncing up and down. So that's that part of it. Now the other part we've done, I'll give you a look. The other part we've got is we've got the surround mounted. This is the new microwave ready to go in. We've got the stitching screws in, there's 4 of them, 2 either side. And we've also now got a packer, this here, and where that's going to go is we're going to put that on the top here, across the top, and the screws will come through there from underneath. And the idea of that is that'll take up any movement, so when you tighten up the screws, what's been happening is this metal plate has been bending up, and as it bends and twists, this surround, or this flashing, starts to come off. It just peels it off eventually, because it has so much pressure on it as you tighten these up. So the idea is I'll put that packer in, and that'll go between the framework, and then I should get the screws up underneath it. Now these are the screws. This one here is the one that was in it, and there's 4 of them, and what we're doing now is we're going to put 6 of these in, so there's no way known that should come out. So that's the next part of the journey. So I've just slid it all back in, just double checking it all fits well. We've got the timber up the block up the top there, so it rests across the top there into the roof, so it won't jump around, or it shouldn't anyway. I've got the 6 screws in now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which I was just in the process of finishing tightening up, and they're pretty tight. I pre-drilled all this and had the screws in before to make sure everything would fit right, which it does. So they're all done. Got the power point up the top here, it's all plugged in, ready to go. I just need to test fire it. So there you have it. Like I said, I didn't film all the cutting of the timbers and pre-drilling everything and all that, that's all pretty basic. It's really just about what it looks like, what the insulation frame, how that works around your microwave, and a couple of things there that you can do just to improve on it. Like I said, these screws are much bigger. There's 6 of them instead of 4. I've put the timber block at the top, so if there is any bounce for any reason, it can't move up backwards and forwards, up and down from the 2 back legs. And also the packer I put in at the top, which takes out that flex of the tin or the metal installation plate. It'll take that flex out when I tighten it up, and that way it won't force this frame, this black frame out across the front off the metal frame. So there you go. It's not that hard. It's time consuming though, but fiddly to try and nut it all out and work it out the best way so it'll all just go straight in, which it has. And yeah, so I'll say thanks for watching, take it easy, and see you on the next one.